welcome to the lobby. Appreciate you taking the time with us. My first question for you is your triple doubles this season. When you got the first one, I was like, wait a minute. I went on Google right away. I was like, there's no way with the numbers you put up that was your first one. So I was surprised about that. And then the second one was like a week later. Like, how close have you gotten before to the triple doubles?
So I had one. I was pretty close in Seattle this season. All I had to do was make 2 free throws, and I smoked them. So then I missed out on it earlier this season, but I've been pretty close a few times.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
Was that in your head? Did you know, like, I hadn't done this before? Like, had you been thinking about, I need that triple-double?
I definitely knew I hadn't done it, which was kind of surprising because it happened a lot at Maryland. Yeah. But
happened a lot at Maryland.
Right? I don't know why I couldn't get over the hump for WNBA. It took me 9 seasons to get my first one. So happy it finally happened.
I mean, it took you 9 seasons, but a lot of people can't do that. And then, I mean, Matt and I talk about it all the time. I think you should be more in the conversation for MVP. Do you feel slighted in any way? Because I think when you talk MVP, like obviously we know we've played for a while. So much is focused on the points and not like the game holistically. I think so. Like, do you feel slighted that you're not usually in those conversations? I mean, I definitely think you, especially this season, you should have been talked about more.
Definitely. I mean, I definitely feel kind of slighted this season. I think early in the season I was top in the league in scoring, and then now I've been doing everything: assisting, rebounding. I think my stat line is impressive, and not only that, I play on the defensive end too. So I think I got an all-around game, and I definitely feel like I should have been in the conversation this year.
Yeah, and then I was like watching your game yesterday. You're top 5 in like 4 categories. I'm like, who else is doing that? So it's just interesting to me that your name wasn't even in that conversation.
Yeah, definitely. But not surprising. I mean, you know how it goes in the league. But I'm just going to continue to do what I do and make this push in playoffs.
I know Matt has a very important question for you.
I have to know. Do you feel like a little bit bad for knocking Sil out yesterday? Just a little bit.
Feel bad say that again?
For knocking Sil and the Lynx out yesterday, like just a little bit?
No, not at all. I mean, I mean, they had all season to make their playoff run. So I mean, I don't think I could feel bad for the last game. Of course, you know, it's sad to see the end of her career, but I definitely don't feel bad for what we did yesterday.
And that's what you just said, AT. Like, that's a good point. I think outsiders looking in, they don't understand that. It's always magnified at the end of the season for that playoff push. This team wins that game in this way. You do your job earlier in the season, and we know, like, every season the coaches are telling you you don't want it to come down to somebody else needing to lose for us to get in. So, I mean, that's a great point, and I don't think a lot of people realize, like, they had their chance. They played the same amount of games as everybody else.
And Minnie had a lot of chances that they blew throughout the year. So, yeah. No, I totally get that.
Definitely don't feel bad.
AT, what makes this year's Connecticut Sun different from the past ones? It's been a couple of semifinals runs and stopped short. Obviously, that's in your brain. So what's different about this year's team?
You know, we had our 2019 run, and then going into 2020, we had a vision of the team that we saw that could actually win the championship. And of course, Courtney left us. We didn't have JJ for the bubble season. Then 2021, I'm out. So this is the first season that we've actually had the complete team that we've had envisioned for this championship team. So, you know, we're hungry, we're ready, and we have so many all-stars. We're unselfish, and I mean, we're just ready for this push for playoffs.
A follow-up question to what Matt just asked. When do you guys feel like you're at your best? Because I know you guys hear the noise. It's just like, when is Connecticut going to get over that hump? You guys got DB. Then you guys bring Courtney back. The conversation's always, when are they going to get over that hump? And I think you guys have played a lot more consistent this year. It's like, when do you feel you guys are at your best?
I mean, I think right now we're playing our best basketball. We finally have hit a peak where we're playing really well together on offense and defensively. And, you know, when we're getting stops and we're getting out in transition, I mean, it's really tough to stop us. We have so many offensive weapons that it's kind of scary to play us.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about your defense, and obviously you're an elite defender. You're in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Who's your all WNBA first team? Since you're guarding all the best players, I'm just curious who your first team would be.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Stewie, Asia. You definitely gotta put Skylar in there. Who else? I'm gonna give Chelsea Gray. I think Chelsea Gray is playing really well right now. And then of course myself. I mean, I gotta put myself in that conversation.
I'm with that. I think that's a good five. That's a good five. Yeah.
That's a very solid five. I'm curious, AT, how you prep for like a series now. You're going to a best of 3 series. You take these few days before, and are you like watching a bunch of film, or is this something that like you know what's up with these teams at this point? What goes through your head?
I think a lot of it is you know what's up with these teams, but at the same time, it's about making sure everything's perfect. Playoffs it's a run. Every game is different in the playoffs. Every game somebody's gonna go off. Everybody's trying to play their best basketball, and for us, of course, we got Dallas. We dropped 2 early in the season to them, so for us, it's about watching them previous games and seeing what we can do better.
Have you paid different attention to the team now? Enrique is not going to be in this series. She's obviously out. They're playing well without her. They figured out, a different system. Are you paying attention to those games now in particular?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she brings a different look to them. I mean, she's an elite scorer. Definitely, we put a lot of defensive focus on her. And now with her out, you can put a lot of focus on other players. So I know I'm excited to play them. It's definitely going to be a different ball game this time around.
We have the last question. Well, my last question. We know in playoffs and to win a championship and make that run, like it's not all the X's and O's. Like the stars sometimes have to be aligned for you. What's Connecticut's X factor? Like what do you think is going to be like that intangible or that thing that isn't going to necessarily be talked about that's going to help you guys make this championship run?
For me, I definitely think our bench. I think if our bench is locked in and able to come in and give 10 to 15 quality minutes each and every night, I think that's going to really separate us. I think when you look at a lot of these teams that are in playoffs, a lot of them don't really have a bench or play their bench. So I think ours will be crucial down the stretch for us.
Dejanay, man. Dejanay, XFactor, XFactor.
You got any more, Matt?
That's all I got, unless you have anything else.
No. Well, it's you know us Terps. We got your back. We're pulling for you. No, for real. You're having a great season. It's been fun to watch and pulling for you for sure.
I appreciate y'all for sure.
Appreciate you. All right.